Hello, divine creations, divine marvels, children of God. Thank you so much for dropping by. And to anyone who's new to this channel or to this topic, a very, very warm welcome. You can find out more information on this topic at my website, www.thehealingstream.org. So what is this topic? Well, first and foremost, it's about a very simple idea that's shown up across culture, across history, that there is an energy, power, a force, a consciousness. There are different words for it. I think energy is one of the simplest words that is available to help us and to actually heal us. And it's all based around that and based around a very intriguing, interesting, yet humble man named Bruno Groening, who showed up in post-World War II Germany and reminded the people he met of this very simple fact. And I say fact because when I first heard this idea that there's an energy that can actually heal my body, I said, I don't know. But having experienced, I was very skeptical. I was open, but skeptical. And having experienced multiple medically impossible healings, I can say now that it's an absolute fact. There is an energy that is available that can, not only can, but does heal the body, much less heal the heart, clear the mind, and free the soul from all its burdens and problems. So, okay, if you're at least open-minded enough to be open to the possibility that such an energy exists, then the next question is, well, okay, how do I get it? And it's actually quite simple. Please sit with your legs uncrossed, feet flat on the floor, hands on your legs, palms facing upwards, back in an upright position, not slouched, but not stiff either, just a relaxed upright position if you can. Some people need to lean against a chair. I did when I first started, I did. And some people aren't able to sit up. They need to lie down, and that's fine too. It's just, this is the ideal physical posture. And then close your eyes. And now please hand over all worries, all burdens, all illnesses. Hand them over to, if you have a conception of God or a higher power, hand them over to that. If you don't, hand them over to life itself, to the universe, or to a spiritual helper you trust. Handing over all resentments, again, any physical illness. And now, having handed over these burdens and challenges, please think of something that brings you great joy, that makes you smile. I'm going to think of my kitty cat who she just wanted to be I just let her out. And then within 30 seconds, she wanted to be let in. And then I went to open the door and she scooted away. Just the beauty of cats, their mystery, their cat nature. So something that just makes you beam with happiness. And then, please, ask in whatever way feels right. Please, higher power, universe, or your spiritual helper, Christ, Bruno, Buddha, whatever your particular belief system is. Please, I want to receive the healing stream. I want to receive healing life energy. And then have the will, the intention to observe your body. The will, the intention to take this energy in and observe your body. Noticing what you feel, having the intention to take in this good energy. Noticing what you feel. Taking in the good. As if we're like a satellite opening up to receive a signal. A satellite dish. And then actively taking in that signal, that energy. Really filling up. To anyone who's new, I'm going to be speaking a little bit, and I invite you to please continue this practice through this entire meeting. The end goal is to do this practice throughout all our life, with eyes open eventually. So welcome to everyone joining in live, and welcome to everyone watching this video. A very special warm welcome to Ulrike, who has been coming to my gatherings for quite some time, and I used to do gatherings in a chat room, and now she's come over to the live YouTube. So very, very warm welcome, Ulrike. So here's a little quote from Bruno Groening. Bruno Groening said, "Love life, God. God is everywhere." Now, for any of the German friends, I'm going to try and read it in German. Liebe das Leben, Gott. Gott ist überall. So, the reason why I'm studying German and going to start reading a little in German here and there is Bruno Groening never said, "Love life, God. God is everywhere." What he said was, "Liebe das Leben, Gott. Gott ist überall." Although he probably said it with a better German accent than me. And there's some very subtle nuances in some things. Not everything Bruno Groening said requires knowing a little German to get the full meaning, but some of it really does. And I believe this is one example. Um, the word Leben, it does mean life, but it also means existence, being. It also means animation. Um, and literally, that one word has about 6 different meanings. So, and there's ways to think about that. That we can think of life as everything that exists. We can also think of Leben. We can think of Leben as everything that exists. But we can also think of Leben as the animating life force itself. Now, I don't think it's one or the other. I think it's both. I think Bruno Groening was trying to express both. The word, the verb leben also means to exist, and we take existence for granted, but it's actually quite miraculous that anything exists at all, much less that God exists. And Bruno Groening said, I'm going to have to paraphrase here. He said, in essence, there is a true miracle, and that miracle is God. It's amazing that God created all of this, but also even that God itself, him, her, itself exists, is an unspeakably profound mystery, miracle, grace, much less that God gave us the grace of existence, the grace of Leben, existence, life, animation, the breath of life, as it's spoken of in the Bible. So let's spend a little time. Magdalena, yay! I said it correctly. And okay, good. Oh, so let's spend a little time reflecting on what is life and what could. And so I've given you a few of the definitions of Leben, and we don't have to become like academic about German to really get Bruno Groening, but I do want us to become contemplative about it. That the word Leben has multiple meanings: life, existence, to live, animation, being. So let's really reflect on some of these. As we continue to take in good energy, noticing what you feel, taking in the good, aligning ourselves with Leben. Really taking in the good. Really letting in life, inviting it in, pleading life, Please come in. Please fill me up and remove everything not good. Hmm. So I'm going to read something that Greta Hausler wrote about her understanding of what Bruno taught. And she wrote, Bruno Groening came to us as a servant of God and called us human beings to the great turnaround. What has happened? Not just healings have occurred, but hearts have become warm again. People's hearts are no longer hard as they have become alive with the life force. And death, which had penetrated human hearts, has given way so that life could move in. Life is God. There's that beautiful saying. Leben ist Gott. And human beings have changed and have love in their hearts again for themselves and for their Father in heaven and for their neighbor as well. So this is really interesting. So Bruno spoke about that the good has to replace what's not good. And he even would say things like, it has fallen asleep. And by it, I believe he meant the soul and this ability to feel the life force, to feel the divine energy. He said sometimes it can take a little time to wake it up. Bruno Groening said God created mankind healthy, fair, and beautiful. Forget the rest, something along the lines of, and this is how human beings are meant to be. In essence, this is what's natural. But we've fallen away from that. We've um, taken, taken disorder into our bodies. And so part of the healing process isn't so much the healing process as it is removing this disorder, this evil. Here, Greta Hausler calls it death. I've never heard Bruno refer to it like that, but regardless, that which is not good, to remove that. One way I understand it is, let's imagine that you have let's say you have a thorn, um, I don't know, like right behind your ear. And that thorn is in kind of deep and it's striking a nerve. And because of that, you have pain. Um, let's say you have pain down the whole right side of your body. It's a mirror image. On the screen, it looks like this is my left. um, and so then someone removes the thorn and then the pain goes away. You could say that was a healing, but not really. What was happened is you just removed what was causing the problem. And that's more my understanding of what Bruno Groening meant by healing, is a removal of what's causing the problem. And from what Bruno said, what's always causing the problem is evil in some way, shape, or form. That's why he said a healing is a hallowing, meaning a healing is making something more sacred because it's a removal of that which isn't sacred. So let's reflect on this different way of looking at healing. Really handing over everything not good and just asking that the good fill its place. The prerequisite is we have to be willing to change. It's not only evil itself that causes burdens, but our own actions, generally in the past, but sometimes in the present. And so we have to literally be willing to change. Taking in the good, observing the body, reflecting on yeah, the spiritual truth, or what I'm convinced is true, that health is natural. All that needs to happen is to remove that which is unnatural. Greta Hausler also wrote, "A healed person has obtained health. The grace of God has been bestowed upon him, and he has been allowed to feel the Father's mercy upon his own body." Hmm. So, what does that mean? Mercy and grace? Well, here's what Bruno Groening said on it. Welcome, Morella. Hmm. Welcome. I think it's your first time saying hello. Thanks for joining in. Bruno Groening said, "No one has a right to a spiritual healing, since it was they themselves who first allowed the evil into their bodies. For this reason, a healing, Heilung, is always an act of God's grace, and therefore also a hallowing, Heiligung." So if we receive a healing, which in this case is literally the removal of the evil, it is a grace because a burden, a debt has been forgiven, which is one of the meanings of the German word Gnade. That again, Bruno never used the word grace. He would say Gnade. If I'm probably mispronouncing that one. I'll type it in. Forgiveness, grace, mercy, release from a debt. Um, hmm. So if something just vanishes, then it truly is an act of grace and mercy. And that's part of why Bruno Groening said it's not right to demand a healing, because that's like borrowing money from someone and then demanding that, hey, or insisting, oh, I don't have to pay you back. You can, of course, ask the person, you can plead the person, plead to the person. So let's reflect on all this, that every healing is an act of grace. And let's say thank you for all the healing we have received and all the healing we will receive. observing the body. If there's a specific healing, um, if there's a specific healing we're after, we can ask God, Bruno, what do I need to do? What do I need to learn? What do I need to change to receive this? What's the lesson here? Hmm. 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 So, so here's what Bruno Groening, here's another quote from Bruno. This was right before he left his body. All people must die. I also. My body will be laid in the earth, but I will not be dead. I will be there for him who calls me, and I will help further. But then each person will experience help and healing out of his own being. I've also heard it said, translated, will experience help and healing within himself. So Bruno Groening was very adamant that the soul never dies. The soul is on this quite vast journey, and that we're not the body. The body's just a temporary gift from God, alone for the soul to use and learn. So let's reflect on that. That we can call on Bruno Groening anytime. Again, here's what Greta Hausler said. Bruno Groening can, and for those who don't know, Greta Hausler is a woman who actually was very close with Bruno Groening and knew him. He was in his body. Bruno Groening can create the connection to the Father with lightning speed, and the life stream can then flow. We only need to open our hands and hearts and allow the stream of mercy to flow in. And what should happen does happen. And I would add to that is we can just call on Bruno Groening, please, Bruno, help. We can do it many, many times throughout the day. So let's reflect on this for a moment that we can ask for help all through the day, and that Bruno Groening is here to help us connect to God. So let's begin our closing. And I wrote to Morella that, and this is, anyone can do this. If English isn't your first language, you can use Google to type in your language and it'll translate it for you. So the best way to communicate is you can leave comments after a meeting. Um, you can also send me an email, though I'm a little less available by email, but you can definitely leave comments on any of these videos after a live meeting. So let's begin our closing. And let's just take one more minute and really fill ourselves up, hand over everything not good, fill ourselves up, and then let's ask, please, dear Maker, Source, God, for mercy, for grace, for forgiveness. And let's ask for those who are near and dear to us. Let's ask for any specific situations that we want a little extra help with. Let's ask for harmony in our households, in our cities, in our states, in our country, and for Mother Earth. Let's take on faith in the almighty power of God and the inevitable triumph of good over evil in our own lives and on this earth as a whole. Let's ask for our deepest heart wish and clarity on what our deepest heart wish is. I'd like to thank everyone for joining in. A very warm welcome, a special welcome to Ulrike and Morella. Thank you, everyone, for joining in, and I wish you a energy-filled day and a day of grace and mercy and being connected to God, being guided by God, and having that intention as we go through the day, asking, how can I best serve you? Where would you have me go? What would you have me do? Thy will, not mine, be done. Thanks so much. Take care. Much love.